Hi guys, Bomber here. Welcome back to the channel, and today this is the first episode of a new series that I'm launching, which is Deck Doctor. Basically, I will get a deck from you guys over my Discord server. By the way, if you didn't already join the Discord server, please do, link is in the description, and also subscribe to the channel, of course, that helps. But anyway, I get a deck from you guys, you subscribers, and if I find it interesting, I will try it and change it a bit to maintain the idea behind the deck, like the deck building aspect of the deck, but make it as competitive as possible. So the first deck that we have today is a Demacia Frail Jord Lux deck. Doesn't really have other themes going on, by Ivy. So without further ado, let's take a look at the main idea here, which I'm getting from seeing the cards being added to the deck, is obviously you wanna build on your Lux strategy and your Ashe strategy, which is kinda interesting because Lux is most of the times used as a control tool, while Ashe it's more on the aggressive side of it. So already there are things like which are not so fitting together, but I could see like taking this deck into two different directions, and we will see together how this will be built up as we go into the video. But yeah, so we can go for a mid-range deck with Ashe and Lux, and basically stuff like Arch Winds or other 6 mana spells can be like a Remembrance, can be used as aggressive tools. Remembrance can be cast for basically free if you are a mid-range deck and you got a turn where you did a lot of trades. So it's pretty high value, so that we can flip Lux pretty consistently, and then Lux can also like be another way to deal burn damage, basically, with the final spark that she will generate. And also, yeah, you have a lot of ways to flip Ashe as fast as possible with all those Frostbite effects. So yeah, probably Judgment and Unyielding Spirit, although they could be nice, both on Ashe and Lux. It's pretty good to have an Ashe which is unkillable, because she's pretty fragile, but she has a very huge effect once she's leveled up to basically deny blockers, and also the Crystal Arrow is pretty insane, can like threaten a little on the turn that it comes out. So yeah, we could go for this mid-range version, so we could like remove stuff like Radiant Guardian, more on the control side, Purify, and maybe get more of the 6 mana spell units, like Mage Seeker Persuader, and there are other stuff which synergize with 6+. Once you have cast a 6+ cost spell in this game, we can go more into that package. So yeah, this is the first direction that I can see this deck going in, or we could go more into the control side of the deck. And in that kind of deck, probably Ashe could be swapped out for maybe a Braum, or I'm thinking like a Trundle, still into the mid-range side of the side of the deck, which we could go for, but yeah, still more control, we could go into that direction. But yeah, anyway, so I'm gonna first do some, at least one match with this deck unchanged, and then I will see what does fit into this deck and what does not, and then we will make some changes, retry some other games, and change again and again. So yeah, let's jump into the first game. So yeah, guys, as you can see, we're up against a Lee Sin deck with Yone and Targon, so that's one of the deck that I brought to you guys on my channel. Let's check it out if you haven't. But anyway, we probably want to have some ways to counter the Lee Sin, so single combat is pretty good, as well as Arch Winds. Probably 2 of those, it's a bit too much, but I like to have the option to Frostbite Lee Sin, so that he doesn't have a way to strike once he's flipped. And so yeah, the Mage Seeker Persuader will get us ways to challenge the board early on, so let's keep that. Ashe also, pretty nice, Spaces Catcher. I don't usually like to start off with a Spaces Catcher, it's kind of more like a defensive tool. you kind of have to respond to what your opponent is doing. By the way, by playing off meta decks, like your own brood of decks, you have the basically surprise advantage.
That's new.
Because your opponent doesn't know what to expect, really. So it discards another Space Catcher, that's fine. I don't know if the enable autopass is active. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it does that by itself. So yeah, let's just play the Mage Seeker Persuader. If he doesn't play a 2-attack unit, we can have a easy damage in. Okay, the Serpent, it's fine. We can't really do much about it. And next turn, the Mage Seeker Persuader will probably be killed. Also, yeah, Purify. I don't like it that much. Ashe, it's true that it is more expensive, but you have the option to do multiple ones of them. But it is permanent also, Purify. So for example, you see that here on Mentor of the Stones, you basically kill that card. So yeah, since we drew into it, it's probably good to go for it. Also, yeah, but Ashe has the advantage that it can silence champions, which is pretty strong. So yeah, probably Purify, although sometimes it does feel nice. Most of the times it ends up being like a dead card in your hand. So probably this is one of the first cards that I would remove from the deck for something else. So yeah, nothing that we can do here. We can really take 2 damage. Don't really care about that. Next turn we can start with an Ashe, and she does get a nice attack in. Even if he plays a 3-attack unit, Ashe will simply frostbite it. So yeah, we get an attack in, and it is basically worth it to attack just because you get 1 step closer to leveling up the Ashe, basically. Because the attack by itself is not that good, what it could be. You didn't get the Solari Priestess, so there is no the Meteor Shower, if that's the name. Okay, he's passing. So yeah, we're taking the attack here. He could probably have the Pearl Cascade, but at least he's not drawing a card. Or he has to play another spell at burst speed before, which he's doing. So yeah, here is the Pearl Cascade.
Can I paint you?
But yeah, it was kind of expensive for him to trade our Ashe. Yeah, we can't really do much.
So cold.
And now we are pretty much stalling. If we draw into our Lux, we get additional ways to deal with this game plan. But it is also true that he has a lot of ways to challenge our Lux and kill it with Lee Sin, for example. So it's very important to get the Unyielding Spirit in. Not really, because Lee Sin can recall the unit, which is the only counter to Unyielding Spirit. So yeah, the only way is to frostbite him every time.
Master yourself.
Or kill him, basically. So yeah, here it is. Unfortunately, we can't really do much, but we can frostbite the Lee Sin, get that body on play, so that then we can Radiant Guardian the turn after, I guess. And we also slow him down a bit. We don't get much damage in. And again, another way to level up Lux. Sorry, Ashe. So I'm kind of intrigued if I want to build this as a mid-range or a control. I'm still figuring this out. Mage Seeker Investigator. So yeah, again, another card that synergizes with the 6+ spells. I kinda like this because it adds a removal to your hand. Okay, Zenith's Blade. Like for example here he's committing to that and we can detain him. So yeah, we can let him do that, we don't really care. And we can pass here, really. I want to keep the Frostbite for later on.
I fight with my spirit, not my fists.
Our enemies would be foolish to underestimate.
Yeah, let's just let him do his thing. Another Radiant Guardian, very nice. Now we are at 10, so we can't really go for Harsh Winds into Radiant Guardian, so we have to do one or the other. And so I kinda want to keep the 6 mana spells for when we will draw Lux, but if we don't, we really can't do much about it. And the detain here is more important, I guess. Okay, so now he probably is going for the Meteor Shower, so our first Radiant Guardian will be killed, basically. Yeah, let's just pass here. Let's see what he does. Okay, Meteor Shower. Here it is. By the way, I was not thinking about this card when I said Meteor Shower. I meant the Obliterate one enemy. One, which I don't remember. What is the name? So yeah, I kinda want to get the detain. So I may think of going into Harsh Winds anyway. We do it like this. Doesn't really matter. So now we get the detain. And we could even kill like the Eye of the Dragon. But it doesn't really matter, I guess. So yeah, it's probably better to keep the mana for later on. We're still taking only 2 damage, so this is looking fine. He probably runs some copies of Deny, so the detain is a bit not so useful. So we have to play it when he's tapped out, or out of Deny. He only has 4 eligible cards for them to be denied. Next turn they will be 5. So I don't know the odds, but it is pretty likely that he has 1 deny in his hand. Okay, Frozen Sentry. This is a nice body to sacrifice for the Radiant Guardian. I kinda like getting the Unyielding Spirit on the Radiant Guardian. It's a very huge body to have on board. And he can fend off most of the stuff that is coming at us. So now, if he see this coming, yeah, he probably is not expecting us to have Radiant Guardian. Okay, Lux. This is very nice. We probably will play a Radiant Guardian first, and then I like more the Unyielding Spirit on the Lux. But now we don't have any more ways to deal with this Lee Sin, which is a bit like far away from leveling up, so we don't really feel bad about it. Another Zenith's Blade, probably on Lee Sin. Yep. Okay, so now 2 single combats could kill it, but I probably don't want to do that, also because if he has a pair cascade, the Radiant Guardian dies on the first one, so it's probably best to wait. Okay, he's still searching for other stuff, and he's trying to level up Lee Sin. So next turn I'm expecting him to turn the Lee Sin. Okay, another Lux, very very nice. I don't know what's the champion spell for Lux. Probably think it's Prismatic Barrier, right? Yeah. This is very bad. Doesn't synergize with Lux. I don't know about it, because it does not synergize with Barrier, it synergizes with 6 last mana spells. Like for example, in the Lee Sin rework, they did give him a spell. By the way, we are dying right now. But they did give him a spell which synergizes with Lee Sin actually. Okay, so now how do we go about this? We could try to detain it. If we detain it... oh yeah. We can do this. If it does not exist anymore, yeah, so we see that this works. I kinda want it to resolve. Let's see first what he does if he has a deny. or something like that. Or we could like make him waste the deny or something else, like we try to survive. Yeah, because we have mana to do that. So let's try to play it safe, basically. We need 2 of those, right? Because we are at -8. So yeah, let's try to kill those 2. We still go at 1. Why that's the case? I'm running out of time, so we have to do this. Sorry guys, I tapped out of the game. Let's try to make it in time. Okay, let's see. We should be at 1 HP, yeah. So let's see now. Wow, that was close. I don't know why this is the case. Oh, because yeah, this has overwhelm. So it deals 16 damage anyway. Okay, build the infinite. Probably doesn't have deny at this point. He would have gone for it, or maybe he's waiting for us to... Well, right, he knows that we have a detain, so he could still be waiting on playing the deny. So yeah, but at this point I will still try to go for it. Again. So yeah, if he doesn't have a deny, this is basically game winning for us. So we must try and go for it. Yeah, he has it. Okay. Yeah, we tried, but we are still alive. So let's see how this will go. Okay, 1 HP. The Lux could maybe save us, but again, the Lee Sin recalling the unyielding spirit stuff, it's pretty bad for us. Okay, Silence of Follower doesn't really help.
Let the light guide you.
And we can't really go for unyielding spirit either right now. We can't. So yeah, a pretty tough matchup anyway, because we were put with Lee Sin, which can recall the unyielding spirit, which is one of our best cards. Probably we should pass here. No, we make him waste a lot of mana. And okay, Frostbite, very very nice draw here. But we still need ways to survive. We're still dead from all these attacks. Okay, so he's trying to challenge us. Yeah, now we die for all those attacks. Unfortunately, we didn't have ways to heal. Yeah, we could have gone for that. And yeah, you see that we die just by a bit. Yeah, pretty unfortunate matchup. But he did make clear some fallacies on this deck, but we will try to address. So yeah, as you have seen, this deck doesn't really seem to have like a team. It tries to do too many stuff. Like Ashe doesn't really fit into the control strategy from Lux, and so this deck isn't either a control, neither a mid-range deck. So first of all, let's try to go for the mid-range strategy. I find it more... like, if you want to go for Lux and Ashe, in particular, I find it to be more fitting to go for the mid-range, like, road. And instead, if you want to go for the control, I don't really like Ashe, so this would probably change too much the identity of the deck, so let's try to stick for the mid-range version. So probably Red Guardian has to go. No, not really. We could still keep the Red Guardian. That wasn't the biggest problem of this deck, because even if we are a mid-range deck, as I was saying, Red Guardian in the intro, Red Guardian is still fine against aggro and burn matchups, and it's a very nice body overall, so still can work for the mid-range strategy. Concerted Strike does works well with Red Guardian, but again, we are not too much into the healing aspect. Concerted Strike is very good to kill, obviously, some stuff, but to heal as well with the Red Guardian and not let him die, let her die, so that you can get multiple heals on top of that. So probably a single combat is best, and it's the only thing needed. Then probably Judgment, it's a bit too costly. as well as an Unyielding Spirit. But we could probably go for the Unyielding Spirit, because as I was saying, getting that on both Lux and Ashe, it's very good, even in a mid-range deck. And could compete like with control archetypes, and can basically set the game over against aggro strategies. So I kind of like the Unyielding Spirit strategy, both with Lux and Ashe. Then Purify probably has to go. I don't really like it. Probably we want more Frostbite synergies and Treat. It's kind of good, obviously, to have more ways to draw Ashe and Lux, but if we are into the mid-range strategy, probably it's a bit too slow. So now we want more synergies with 6 or more cost spell. So another Mage Seeker could probably... No, let's probably do this. Let's see, 6 plus. So yeah, Mage Seeker Investigator. Also the Mage Seeker Insider could be fine. A 6/5 on turn 4 if you go for the Remembrance on the first 3 turns. Which I kind of like, to go for Remembrance, then you can start off with Ashe, really. And if you don't get that plan, you can still have some kind of pressure early on. But yeah, probably the Mage Seeker Insider is not really that great. It is true that we are mid-range, but yeah, too clunky, I guess. It's probably best to have ways to remove stuff, like the Lee Sin that we have seen, or even the Aurelion Soul. It's probably one of the best ways to remove it. Or like the Gangplank. So the Tain obviously has some very great targets. Okay, so now we're missing 4 cards, so we probably want to have more Frostbite synergies for the Ashe to flip easier. I kinda like Caught in the Cold. If you have seen my last video on the control archetype of... it was Feral Jord and Targon. So I kinda like Caught in the Cold, but Brittle Steel is very, very strong in the early game. What other stuff that we have to Frostbite? So yeah, we probably want Brittle Steel, and probably a copy of Caught in the Cold could work. So yeah, now we are very much into Frostbite synergy for Ashe, and 6+ mana spells for Lux. Let's see also what other stuff we could go for after. Like 6 mana spells. Let's see. What do we have available? Back to back could be very nice, as well as Battle Fury, not really. So yeah, the only thing that we could consider adding is back to back, really. Other than the stuff that we already have. But yeah, let's try first this iteration of the deck, and then let's see what other we can do. I probably changed like 10 cards of the deck, so already a 25% change on the deck. So yeah, let's see this in action, and then let's go to the drawing board once again. So, as you can see, right now we are up against Garen with Demacia and Shadow's Islands. Kind of an intriguing deck. I guess that is into aggression. Probably is like an elite deck with some splash of Shadow's Island. So yeah, we have to counter that type of strategy. Probably single combat will come in handy for whatever comes off of the Remembrance. Iceveil Archer could fend off a bit of pressure early on. Ashe. So yeah, now we have kind of to be... we are mid-range, but not as fast as this one, I'm guessing. So we kind of have to be more the control part of the deck. So Unyielding Spirit would certainly help on that. We just get 2 damage in, so there is no point in going for the Asveil Archer. If we did play instead of 2 drop, probably we could consider going for it. Instead we can start off with a Remembrance, and then the Mage Seeker Persuader will be pretty strong. Okay, Great Horn Companion, not the best, but not the worst. Now we either get 10 damage in, or we trade both of those. I'm happy with both results, so yeah, we went for the trade, which I'm kinda happy, so that now all this stuff that buffs the white board does lose value. and we traded 6 mana basically for 4, so we are a bit behind. In fact, you see that he has 2 more mana than us, but yeah, still quite good. So now we could go for Ice Veil Archer and then Mage Seeker Persuader. Then next turn we can go for the Ashe, and we still have we will have next turn mana for the Brittle Steel as well, which I kinda like. Also the Mage Seeker Persuader, this is a very intriguing combo, because the Mage Seeker Persuader can trade with stuff that Ashe Frostbite. So I kinda like a lot this interaction. Didn't think of it, but it is very, very strong. Okay, Garen. So yeah, we can open attack here. We will probably block there with the Vanguard Sergeant. So yeah, we can Frostbite that. What could he have in Demacia? Nothing really. He could single combat us, but we just simply Frostbite it, so there is no point. So yeah, he of course went to block the remaining damage. He was worried about something that buffed the attack. It's fine, we still get 4 damage in, and Ashe is pretty much already leveled up. Yeah, 3 out of 5. The turn after that, we can Yielding Spirit Air pretty soon, and this seems very, very promising. Now we will probably trade the 3-1 with the 2-2 or the 3-3 here, so that we can get a Radiant Guardian, so that we don't really have to care about... he doesn't attack. Now I'm kind of worried about... like... what could he have? Like a single combat. So you probably want to go for that first. And I want to remove the Garen so that he doesn't have a chance to block. He has basically to trade those two stuff. And then we have mana to go for Brittle Steel and Unyielding Spirit if needed. Also Ashe levels up.
I'll lead us to victory.
Yeah, I like this a lot. Now these trades there, and we still have mana for the Radiant Guardian to pretty much stabilize all the way. Or we could commit to the Unyielding Spirit right now. But then we will not have mana to like counter whatever he could have, and for the Demacia is coming. He could have like single combat. But nothing really else. Like he could have the Radiant Strikes to get these, to have one more attack to trade on the Ashe. But yeah, I don't think so. It's probably best to get the blocker for next turn. I don't know, we could probably wait on that. Let's play it safe. Play the Radiant Guardian. Next turn we'll probably go for the Demacia. And if he goes for the single combat on the Garen, for the Ashe, we can then trade with the single combat, or we could Frostbite him, even better for us. So yeah, I like to play it safe here. We are in a very good spot, so we might as well. Now he can't really not open attack, because if he does, we simply Crystal Arrow, and then there is no way for him to... Okay, he's not open attacking, so I guess that he probably has a single combat at this point. If not, he would not have gone for that. Probably he was expecting us to cast it on our offensive turn to get the win. Okay, yeah, here it is, the single combat. Now, going for the Unyielding Spirit, it is still a bit too risky. So let's probably play even safer and go for the Frostbite. So now the Garen gets traded, and if he had another one, another single combat, we would single combat this. Okay, so now he could still go for the single combat. I'm so worried about it. But yeah, we can wait a bit. Okay, he's passing. I don't know, man, he could have a way to kill the Ashe. So yeah, let's probably play it safe again. Next turn when we will attack with the Ashe, this will be frostbited, so
Show me a
we'll do
target.
this gets frostbited, and yeah, it does have a value trade on Devorous and Sentry, which we probably could not attack with it. We may not
You would
attack
test my steel?
Okay, he's going for that. And now, probably, there is nothing that he can do. Even if he has 2 single combat, we can either single combat or flash freeze the second one, so that Ashe still survives. And this is good game, I guess. Yeah. Now, at this point, it is very, very difficult for him to recover from this. Having an unyielding spirited unit means that even the single combat and stuff like that can continuously trade on his stuff. So yeah, let's just wait, let him waste mana, basically. I don't know why he didn't take the open attack. Okay, the arrowing. This is interesting. We can preemptively trade the Garen. For the Demacia, it's also pretty nice if you can combo it with the arrowing, but you really can't do that. Oh yeah, we should have waited. I didn't know that the arrowing casted more units if you kill one which is already in play. But yeah, still doesn't matter. 11. So yeah, we can go for Unyielding Spirit there, and if he has another single combat from the Garen, we can flash freeze it. So that this gives us a very nice blocker, ways to stabilize, basically blocking in the middle of the combat. For example here, probably gets us the best result. And yeah, just
These are our
let's
lands.
go for these. We could even trade these.
The torches.
So yeah, we are pretty safe. Probably there. Yeah, this is even more life. Okay. Yeah, this will die, but we will draw a card which is more valuable. Now, if he has a second, the arrowing, it could be threatening, but he's dead next turn, I guess. Yeah, 15, not really. But if we play the Magicka Investigator, he is. So now he has, even if he plays a blocker right now, it still isn't enough for the Fallen. Interesting. Yeah, this is a very nice combo. Didn't think of it. The arrowing into for the Fallen is very, very strong. Will it be enough to beat 2 of our unyielding spirited units? Probably, since we are attacking, we can safely play Lux.
Oh, don't you worry about me.
Okay, for Demacia, which is kind of wasted. But
As the arrow flies.
can still attack with those. These, so that with this we get to full,
Justice and all things
and
right.
the one which gets frostbited, we could attack it, so that it goes at 2 next turn instead of 6, instead of 3, which is the maximum health of it, which could matter. So yeah. Now we kinda still have to block those 2 to not get too much damage in, and even if it does not complete the trade, we get them to be at lower health point, so that we can, which yeah, it could matter. It's always better.
Try me, I dare you.
Yeah, okay. So we did remove one. Now we have space to play another one. Another unit. And the next turn, the Demacia is pretty threatening. But yeah, having an unyielded Radiant Guardian is very, very strong. I probably want to bank the mana and get more stuff open. Now he could go for 2 for Demacias. How should we go about this? We definitely frostbite 2 units. And we probably even detain one of them. Detain is also very strong with one of the unyielded units. So yeah, pretty good. And we can also have the Lux to like kill the Dauntless Vanguard, which we could do right now. But really because he will have priority back, so yeah. Let's probably... Let's just wait, I guess. And then if he doesn't... Okay, he goes for the open attack. He's keeping the...
No backing down.
The for Demasias. Okay, so you see that right now we are safe by doing this. We could like detain one of his 6/6s. I probably want to do these because the 6/4 we can trade it with the final spark from Lux. So yeah, now we are alive, but I probably want to keep it even safer by sacrificing this 3/3. Or maybe we just frostbite the 6/6 so that we get the final spark from Lux.
The time is right.
Also with the detain. And we don't really get too much damage in. The 4/1 can still be used to trade one of these 3/3 in their base form. There is nothing really that can punish us. He could have a silence, which is pretty bad on our army. But I don't think that he runs the Purify, as we did in the first iteration of the deck. So now it is very important to do this right now, because he could for Demacia preemptively to keep one of his units. So Vanguard, so the next for Demacia will be even more threatening, because now he can remove our stuff to heal. Okay, another Maze Seeker, very nice. Unfortunately, the Lux will not flip from the detain. We probably want to kill the 2/1s, that's for sure. Then one of these 3/3 gets frostbited, and he can't really go for the value trade here, I guess, because he will probably die. He has to block at least one of the other, either 6 or 5. He could still go for the value trade, but it's kind of greedy, and we don't really care if he goes for the 3/3 here. Yeah, he doesn't go for that. And you probably have to switch so that the Lux gets more damage. Okay, a bit of a misplay, but doesn't really matter. So now he's at 6, one more swing from Ashe is a good game. Yeah, he's passing, could pass back, no point in playing other stuff. Okay, the arrowing, so this is his last attempt, basically. Yeah, so with this, Garen pretty much levels up with the arrowing, but then he doesn't survive it. So yeah, we probably detain the remaining blocker, and then we block everything.
I will end this here.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Look out for
like this, and we are pretty much very safe. Now he doesn't have mana for another Garen, so that he can't threaten another attack next turn. So yeah, there is no way that you can survive 2 unyielded spirited units on board. But this is a very competitive deck, don't get me wrong. It is a bit of meta, but it is very competitive. There are for sure things that will suffer this matchup, the elite matchup. Okay, another for the Fallen. So you see, there are a lot of ways for him to come back, basically. But our deck is very greedy. Current Pursuit, so he's keeping pressuring us. We probably want to remove one of those, so that he gets one less attack. And yeah, not that it mattered. So yeah, the Relentless Pursuit was a bit wasted. And now we probably get the win, right?
Swiftly now.
Let's see. Yeah, everything trades. The Lux is not so important right now, so we can safely attack with it anyway.
I will hold the line.
Since we get lethal by attacking with the Lux as well. Now let's see if he has a single combat, which I was worried about for the whole game, which he has. We can again detain the single combating unit. So if he doesn't have another one, that's a good game. Yeah, well played, man. So yeah, we did get our first win here. There is nothing really that will change in this deck. It did seems to fit pretty well all together. Like, it is a mid-range, but it can transition to being the controller, which is kinda good. Probably the code in the cold. Probably I could see 1 and 3 just because we are very much reliant on either Ashe or Lux, so probably having the ability to get that more consistently is probably worth it. I don't know why I was typing Lux. Let's go for Entreat. Yeah, we could maybe do that, but other than that, really, everything fits pretty well together. The Mage Seeker Persuader, after the Remembrance, giving us ways to clear the aggro strategy, also get some nice trades by frostbiting before attacking. So yeah, it all comes together. The Freljord and the Demacia package really work very well together. I don't know, yeah, I kind of like this deck a lot. I could see it being competitive, so definitely cheers for AV to have come with a unrefined but definitely a strong concept. So yeah, after this last change, I guess I probably will do the last match to see how this deck performs with a bit more numbers. Definitely you guys can try this deck and raise its popularity, so let's see how this deck performs at high competitive level. And yeah, let's jump into the last game and see how this works. So as you can see, we are playing at Diamond 4 against Misfortune and Gangplank. Last season we were into Master, so I'm still climbing for the Master right now, at a bit of a busy period, but now I'm back at it. Okay, so we get both Lux and Ashe. Against this matchup it's very important to like fend off the early on pressure, so probably even though the Lux is okay, it is probably a bit too expensive. I kinda like instead a single combat to trade with the early on stuff if we get the Radiant Guardian from the Remembrance. But yeah, it's probably a bit too like based on luck, so we probably keep only Ashe. Okay, like you see, the Avaros and Sentry is much more needed, as well as the Remembrance. Vicious Pet gets the damage in. So now I could consider getting the first I pass. So let's see if he plays the 2-drop or not. If he plays the 2-drop or another 1-drop, we have probably to play the blocker. And here I might as well attack, but probably not, because it is more difficult for him to think if he wants to. Oh yeah, we did keep the Radiant Guardian, I was forgetting about that. So yeah, now this matchup is much more easy for us. So yeah, let's just pass here. If he goes for the open attack, we at least trade the 3-2. There is no point in frostbiting stuff. Instead, it is better to keep the mana for Remembrance. Unfortunately, Remembrance is just one off for it to be played, but I like the Mage Seeker Persuader. Can trade the 0-3, for example, which could like take damage with something and flip. So I kinda like going into Ashe, because we basically have the open attack with her. Even if he plays one unit which has 3 or more attack, it will be frostbited. Yeah, like the Legend right here. So yeah, we can take the attack with Ashe. In this matchup it is not that important that she survives. It's just important that she takes value trades. Okay, 5 damage in. I can take that. Now we can trade something so that then the Radiant Guardian gets online. So you probably want to sacrifice the Mage Seeker Persuader. Unfortunately, we don't have ways to strike. So you might as well get the value trade with Ashe as well. Probably here.
The target.
Yeah, because we are up against a burn, so we kind of have to do this. We have to play it safe. An Yielding Spirit on Lux will pretty much be a good game for him. But that will happen at least in 2 turns. Okay, Noxian Fervor, so he's not willing to trade that. And this will not get us our Radiant Guardian flipped. Yeah, there is really nothing that we can do about it. We can still have a Remembrance, just in waiting for the Radiant Guardian to flip. And we are very close to killing him, actually. Okay, Decimate, so you see, we really need heal. If he has a second Decimate, that's a good game. Single combat. So yeah, we have everything, but we just need something to die. So let's just attack, this will get traded. If he goes for another Noxian Fervor, we can single combat the sacrificed unit. But if he doesn't, and if he goes instead for a Decimate, we can't really do much about it. Let's see if he has that. Yeah, he probably has. Yeah, you can't really do much against 2 Decimates. We didn't have ways to clear the Noxian Fervor. If we had a single combat before, that would be a good game for us. 3 less damage. But yeah, it went this way. But still very close. See, we are just 1 attack off.
Forgive me, Avarosa.
So since this last game was pretty much very fast and also, I may say, very unlucky for us, I'm doing one last bonus match. This time is against Scouts, so again, a pretty aggressive deck. Mage Seeker Investigator could be nice against his Queen or Misfortune. An early on drop, but there is probably better stuff. Also, Flash Freeze not that good. Single combat could work again. We see that we needed some kind of responsiveness with this deck. Probably 2 of those is a bit too much, but at least we have the Remembrance on turn 3. So we have a play. So yeah, he's taking his time, probably he's searching for what kind of deck we have, but you get the advantage, as I said before, when you play an off-meta deck. Okay, 2 Remembrances, it's very good. He's still running War Chefs. I don't think that War Chefs is competitive anymore. They killed the discard. He doesn't trade into anything, only 1 drops, but you want to attack with this, so they will have a 2-drop after you play the War Chefs most of the times. But yeah, anyway. Remembrance, I probably hope for the Challengers. Yeah, like this one, it's very good. I was thinking exactly of this card. Well, the 5 mana pool from Demacia units, it's pretty much narrow. It will like dilute over time, but for now all the 5 drops are very good. And I kinda like that they don't do, in my opinion, pretty bad stuff like they do in Airstorm. Like if a random spell or whatever casts summons a unit, they basically dilute the pool of those units by putting very bad units to summon off of those spells. But yeah, for players which are not familiar to Hearthstone, this makes no sense. So I don't know. I probably like to freeze this one because we will probably have a follow-up for this. So I'm denying him the challenger, and then we can also single combat the Misfortune with the Screeching Dragon. Okay. So he goes for shielding that, so that he can safely attack with it. But yeah, I may still trade the 2-2 here. Probably I will block the 3-2 with the 5-5 and single combat the 2-2. No, but there is still the 1 damage from the Misfortune, so yeah, this will still die. Let's see if he like how do you say, challenges this one. Okay, so he's going for that. Don't know, I kinda like to keep the Brittle Steels to clear the Misfortune without taking damage. And at this point, since it is frostbited anyway, I kinda like to trade these. And also we are going a very huge Screeching Dragon. Yeah, take 4, but this is not a burn deck, and later on we will just win. He also has only 3 cards left, so he's running out of fuel. We have to watch out for the Genevieve Helmet. At this point, it's the only card that we have to worry about. But pretty buffed Screeching Dragon can trade her with no problem. And also we have another single combat for her. So we just have to keep our single combat for that, and we're basically good to go. Let's clear the Misfortune as well. He could go for Queen. Let's see if he does. Okay, Misfortune is gone. Now a Queen also is pretty threatening. If he goes for Queen, like he is, and then probably Genevieve Almert, then this is kind of bad, but not that much. So next turn we can Arch Winds into single combat. Yeah, so he had pretty much the perfect curve. So if we win against a Scout which had the perfect curve, then this tells a lot about this deck. But yeah, I kinda like to preemptively do this on the challengers maybe. So that even if he goes for that, and by that I mean that he basically challenges the Screeching Dragon, he still loses a lot of stuff. He loses the Valor. Yeah, this is a pretty rough move for him to counter. Then we have also the Unyielding Spirit always in the back, threatening a win condition basically. And this is growing very, very large. 8-8. So now if he challenges these, yeah, removing a blocker, we still get a trade on the 4-3. And if not, we just take the 4 damage. I'm still thinking about it. Yeah, so at this point we have to do this, and we probably also frostbite that. We have to play it safe. We are at 8, this is pretty safe. The next turn we can trade the Queen. We have another Remembrance also in the back. Let's breathe. Okay, so we have ways to... But I probably like to keep the Queen alive. Let's probably pass here. Let's see what he does. If he passes back, I'm happy about it, because we can still freeze. If he also put an attacks, it just gets 2 damage in. Okay, so yeah, I very much like this position. Mage Seeker is very, very strong, because we can challenge other stuff like the Queen.
Of the woods. There's nothing like it.
Okay, so Genevieve, pretty threatening. We kinda have to go for the Mage Seeker. If he goes to trade these, but not attacking with the Queen. Okay, he's attacking with the Queen. Interesting. Probably the best play here for him is to... He didn't challenge that. This probably is telling us that he has a single combat, because this can finish off the trade. We probably don't want to block that. Or we may as well. So yeah, let's block that. He probably has a single combat here. And we can Frostbite the Queen so that this also dies, and that's a good game for us. Yeah, here it is. Oh, riposte. Interesting, but yeah, we have the Flash Freeze for that. This removes the barrier and also the attacker, basically. But yeah, unfortunately the Mage Secret died there. But now we can play the Remembrance for the additional blocker, and maybe this will be a Radiant Guardian, which is not. That's fine. Now we can remove one other blocker by sacrificing the Genevieve Elmart. And he probably loses the Queen as well with the Brittle Steel. He should probably not attack there. Wow, very intense game. This also will create an elite. Radiant Guardian I very much like that. So I probably want to trade the Genevieve here. And the Queen. By this dying, we get the Radiant Guardian buffed, which is very strong. Okay, so this dies. We get the Vanguard Lookout, which is very trashy. Okay, there is a Ranger, but yeah, there is probably no way you can recover from a Radiant Guardian. As well, since we can Unyielding Spirit her.
Smell that? A fight's a cooking.
Okay, it's going for that. No, we just have to survive, and we're good to go. Lux also, very nice. But unfortunately, we can't go for both of those. So we either go for an Unyielding Spirit. Okay, he surrendered. Well played. We won against a Scout with a perfect curve, so this tells a lot about this deck. So yeah, guys, that's it for the first deck doctor of my channel. This is a new series that I kind of like because I'm very much into the game balance, game design, so I kind of like to deck build and stuff like that. Definitely jump into my Discord server because the community looks great there. We are still small, but I guess that it will grow over time. And also, if you want to participate in some of this stuff, like the deck doctor, and we do friendly matches on the Discord server, so whatever project may come, the earlier you get in, the best it is. Also, I'm thinking about doing a tournament with my subscribers, but the numbers are still not that high for the tournament to be effectively organized. So yeah, definitely jump in to participate in all this cool stuff with the community. So that's it for this video. Hope you liked it and find it useful, and as always, see ya!